Hello again, YouTube. This is Patrick from Small Room Productions here with another video tutorial here for you guys today. And today we're going to go ahead and talk about the Q EQ. Now, this is an EQ made by Waves, and they make a whole bunch of these. This is the Q4 I have selected, but they make a whole bunch. They have the Q2, Q4, Q10, Q whatever it is. But the number, all that pretty much represents is how many bands that you're going to have to work with on the EQ. For this particular project, I only needed 4. It worked well, so left it that way. But like I said, you can take anything that I show you here, you can use on any of the Q EQ series from Waves. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it. This is a pretty versatile EQ. It doesn't have any any kind of characteristics to it. It's not like an API or like an SSL or like any of those like analog kind of like EQs. This is just transparent. It just has one function, it has these functions and that's it. It just helps you to mold your sound. So let's go ahead and go down the row and talk about what each thing does. Now, let's go to the first band, which is right here. We have this type, and when I click on this, you have a drop-down menu, and you have all these different selections that you can have for the band. So right now I have it on high pass. So essentially what that's doing is going to get rid of anything past this frequency. All right. So anything below it, it's cutting out. You can see that dip there. If I put it on low pass, you can even hear the noise go away from the sound of the compressor and the amp simulation I have on. So it's getting rid of everything that is above that frequency, which is 41 hertz. So up, let's go up more. High shelf doesn't really look like it's doing too much, except it's not cutting right here. Really, like whatever boost I'd be doing it'd be doing to all the frequencies above it. And then you have Bandpass, which if I turned it up, I believe, yeah, it's just going to turn up the frequencies either up or down, depending if I, turn up the gain or turn it down. So I didn't have anything with the gain. I was just using this as a high pass. I just want to get a little bit of that low end, so that way it had a room for the kick and the bass in this. Next parameter, I kind of already demonstrated this a little bit, but we have our gain. Let me switch this back to band shelf so that way you can see a little better. Turn up or turn down. Let me put it on a different setting. Here we go. Either turn down, turn up, so on and so forth. Let's do it on the high shelf. See, this is it going up. This is it going down. So now you know what that looks like. Next is your frequency. I have this set to 41 hertz. I can go ahead and slide this up. So let's say if I had just too much going on, even at 41 hertz, I can adjust it, go, to 60. And the one thing I love about this EQ is some of the EQs you're kind of just forced to work with the range of frequencies that it has. So like, it would only stop at 250 hertz. This EQ, any band that you select can go from either side of the frequency, no problem stopping it at all. So let me bring this back to double click in order to type to 41 where it was, so on and so forth. Next is your Q. I'm going to show this one on the third band. Now, like I said, any of these bands, you can change it to any kind of kind of shelf that you want for it. You can have, high shelf, low shelf. You can have it as a bell, so on and so forth. So like, let's say this 2 band, if I had it engaged, I can turn this and make this my low pass and have it where number 4 is. So it doesn't matter the order. Again, very versatile EQ. So let's jump to 3. All right. And the Q, what that's going to do is, you see where this is right here, how it's dipping down. If I go to the left, you can see that it's starting to get wider. So I have about 2 dBs turned down at around 2K. And I have a wide Q, meaning that it's going to grab all these other frequencies and turn it down with everything that's going on at 2. So it's actually not just cutting 2, but quite a bit around it. Now, I can go ahead and go the other way. You can see it gets tighter. Let me go ahead and turn down more. And you can see that it's being very narrow and surgical. So this is great, especially if you are, if you have any resonance or any frequencies that are just poking out too much, and it's a very specific one. It's not just like, you know, some just surrounding it. You can go ahead and kill that thing. Just locate it. This is what I usually do for it. Turn it all the way up. I sweep across the spectrum till I find it. Bring it back down and turn it down as much as I'd like. So let's say -5. There you go. Boom. Done deal. So bring it back to 2.1. Fix the Q. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. You can adjust how much is going in. You can adjust how much is going out. You know, you have a meter showing you how close you are to clipping, so that's a great feature as well. And you also have the phase to flip it if you wanted to. So let me bring this back to negative. And yeah, I mean, you can kind of hear the difference there. Cutting out the high end so that way there's room for the cymbals. Like I said, the low end so that way the kick and bass can cut through a little better. It's a little noisy in the 2K region, so I cut some out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's hear what it sounds like with it, with the drums and everything else. Let me unmute this, pan this out. Okay, and let me take it out. I have the same settings applied on both of these guitars. So yeah, there you go. That is the that's my demonstration on the QEQ. All right, guys, till next time.